You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6.
Coming up, a drive-by shooting leaves a man with life-threatening injuries in Newtown. We'll tell you where police are looking for their suspect today.
Plus, what Florida Power and Light is doing to keep the power on during this hurricane season.
And we'll tell you where the Tampa metro area ranks nationwide when it comes to being at risk of cybersecurity threats. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now. Good morning, June 4th. I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Stephanie Webb. Thanks for waking up with us on this Monday morning, this Monday muggy morning, right, John Scalzi? Oof.
Right. Monday and muggy going together today, just like that. Peas in a pod. Looking at a daytime high temperature that'll top out warm today at around 87 degrees. Little in the way of any kind of a rain chance right straight through the period. 80 by 7 o'clock, by 12 noon, 84, and then we'll top it out today at a warm, sticky 87. Not much in the way of any kind of issues on satellite. We have some cloud cover back to the west. That's all part of a cold front. That cold front will be sinking southward, maybe changing our weather a little bit midweek. We'll be talking about that in a few, but currently we're not seeing anything on radar. Current conditions, 80 degrees outside, dropped a degree over the last hour. 90% relative humidity, making it feel kind of sticky and humid with a west-northwest wind coming in about 9. We'll have that complete forecast for you, including perhaps some slightly less humid air headed our way, coming up in just a few. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, John. Well, you only have a few days left to buy hurricane supplies tax-free. Now, that includes supplies like batteries, lights, gas containers, generators, coolers, and radios. It's all a part of the state's disaster preparedness sales tax holiday. It lasts until this Thursday. Now, right now, Sarasota County Emergency Management recommends creating or updating your hurricane preparedness kit. Make sure you pack everything that you might need to take with you ahead of time if you are forced to ever evacuate. Well, the state's largest electric utility company, Florida Power and Light, wants to make sure that you don't end up in the dark this hurricane season.
They say they did learn lessons from Hurricane Irma. ABC 7's Marla Spencer just live from Sarasota to look at what they're doing differently this hurricane season. Marla.
Good morning, guys. Last hurricane season, when Irma hit, the storm knocked out power to millions of homes and businesses across the state of Florida, as well as right here on the Suncoast. This year, the company is making sure that it's well equipped to handle that type of magnitude of power outage just in case a storm heads our way this hurricane season. Now, the company says the majority of the outages were caused by downed tree limbs and debris knocking into power lines. This season, the company is implementing an initiative called Right Tree, Right Place. Now, this program is geared to educating FPL customers on planting trees and plants in the right place and making sure that those trees are trimmed away from power lines. Now, the company recommends trees being cut at least 30 feet away from power lines. And another way FPL is planning to lower the amount of outages is by launching a program to bury more power lines in Sarasota. Now, down power lines due to debris could be a thing of the past. For some residents, the only issue with underground power lines would be if flooding were to happen, and it would make it a little bit harder for FPL technicians to restore those power lines if a hurricane were to hit. Now, coming up at 6:30, we're going to be telling you about another way FPL is looking to reduce the number of outages just in case a storm heads our way. We're going to be telling you those details coming up at 6:30. Reporting live in Sarasota, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Marla. A big construction project starts today in downtown Bradenton. It's the start of a full week for a portion of this road. FDOT is requiring the railroad crossing on Manatee Avenue at 5th Street West. Later this morning, crews will be diverting drivers around this area, so expect heavier traffic in that section of downtown Bradenton. And this closure should last for about a month. Let's check first alert traffic right now. Traffic is indeed building across Manatee County. You'll see State Road 70 eastbound as you head toward the interstate. Also Cortez eastbound toward 14th Street West. Checking farther south now on the maps, we do have a alert there, an accident to report up by University near Lockwood Ridge. That's actually Dr. Martin Luther King Way at Tuttle Avenue specifically, so be aware of that as you head out this morning. Otherwise, pretty clear in that half of Sarasota County, and South County all clear right now at 6:03. Developing overnight in Sarasota, police investigate a drive-by shooting that left one person injured.
Sarasota police say the call came in about shots fired near 25th Street and Lemon in Newtown community around 3:30 yesterday afternoon. But the crime scene has now been expanded all the way to 22nd Street. Right now, a man is being treated at Blake Medical Center with life-threatening injuries. Police have confirmed the shooting involved a blue car, but they're not sure about the make and the model just yet. If you have any information about the shooting, you're asked to contact Sarasota County Crime Stoppers. And of course, we will be bringing you up-to-the-minute updates on our news app as the story develops. Make sure that you're always in the know with what is going on in your area. Make sure those push notifications are turned on so you get all of those first alert weather updates as well. You can find it in the App Store ABC 7. Well, caught on camera, one man's truly dangerous moves on the dance floor. The FBI is now investigating after one of their off-duty agents brought his gun to a Denver nightclub where it went off. Take a look at this. Ooh, just as the agent busted a move, his gun came loose. It goes flying into the crowd, hit a bystander. All kinds of dangerous things going on, including the dancing right there. Legal experts say that agent could also be in some big trouble.
He's potentially in big trouble for a number of potential violations, both administrative and otherwise. So this is a great example of clearly what you should not be doing if you're armed.
Well, the man who was shot was taken to a nearby hospital. He's expected to be fine. The FBI isn't commenting on the agent who could be facing criminal charges.
In consumer news, is your cybersecurity up to date on your devices at home? Right now might be a good time to check. The Tampa Bay area is considered the 10th most vulnerable metro area in the country to cybersecurity threats. Other Florida counties rank in the top 10 as well by a survey by Coronet. In fact, they rank the Orlando to Daytona Beach area as the 9th most vulnerable, West Palm Beach to Fort Pierce, 8th, Jacksonville 7th. Las Vegas is ranked as the most vulnerable. If you own a Kia Sedona minivan, check your mailbox. The company is recalling more than 100,000 vehicles and notifying drivers by mail. This is for the models made from 2015 to 2018. The issue is with the sliding doors. They say they may not automatically open if they close on a person. Owners of the newer Kia models can get their minivans software reprogrammed at Kia dealerships at no charge.
In Health Smart, at least 5 deaths are now being linked to lettuce contaminated with E. coli across the country. There have been nearly 200 reported illnesses since the contamination was first discovered back in March. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention say the fatalities were caused by romaine lettuce grown in and around the Yuma, Arizona area. The FDA says lettuce from Yuma has now been pulled from stores and restaurants all across the U.S. Well, we are learning more about a new, possibly life-changing study that finds that some breast cancer patients may not need chemotherapy. ABC's Maggie Rulli explains what this could mean for the future of medicine.
It's the largest study ever done about breast cancer treatment, and its main finding is that at least 70% of early-stage breast cancer patients may not need chemotherapy while battling the disease. It's welcome news to those who've experienced it.
I had nausea. I also then lost my hair. It felt like the worst flu I'd ever had, times 10. And you have absolutely no energy.
The study used a gene test done on tumors to help decide whether a woman would benefit from chemo or if they could receive hormone therapy. Using this test, researchers found that chemotherapy did not add any benefit in survival rates or reoccurrence for most women. But researchers say some women 50 and younger in high-risk groups might still need chemo.
This is for the woman at intermediate risk for that cancer to recur. So we used to say for that group of women in terms of chemotherapy, better safe than sorry. This trial using this type of genetic test lets us say to those women, you will do fine without chemotherapy and spare all of the stuff that comes along with that.
Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
Well, we all know it's hard to escape that 24-hour news cycle thanks to smartphone apps, social media, but it turns out consuming too much bad news can actually be bad for your health. Psychotherapist specializing in trauma recovery says that chronic stress can actually cause critical fatigue, which leads to symptoms like headaches, bad sleeping, anxiety, even depression. An overload of traumatic news can also lead to disaster fatigue. It makes us less concerned and even more apathetic during a real crisis.
Well, hopefully some good news on the way. In fact, we might have some here. Still ahead, a Palmetto woman has an idea that has gone to the dogs.
We're going to tell you why she's selling these dog treats to raise money for some local charities when we come back. But first,
6:09, a peek outside our window. It looks like a pretty morning in progress, but you will notice how warm it is out there, John.
Oh, yes, indeed. And muggy as well. It'll be hot and humid right straight through the middle of midweek anyway. The good news is that none of the inclement weather boxes checked on the drive time forecast. It all looks good for your morning commute in terms of any kind of weather. Just make sure your AC is running. We have low 80s on the way out, mostly clear skies, and then on the way home you'll have mid 80s, and the skies will still be clear near the coast, but along the inland areas, you may have an isolated shower or two. All airport hubs running on time, according to the FAA that serves Sarasota International. So we are looking at some changes coming up this week. We'll talk about those in just a minute.
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
Excuse me a minute. Hi, Dad. No, don't try to get up.
Hi, I'm Julie, a right-at-home caregiver. And if I'd been caring for Tom's dad, I would have noticed some dizziness that could lead to balance issues. That's because I'm trained to report any changes in behavior, no matter how small. So Tom could have peace of mind.
We'll be right there. We have to go.
Hey, Tom, you should try Right at Home. They're great for us.
The right care, right at home.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
My California Closets experience has been wonderful. My mother's a huge inspiration. Before she passed away, she would say, you should do something special for yourself. First time I saw my closet, I immediately thought, this is the best thing I've ever done for myself. I call it my Tiffany style closet. I mean, I can shop in my own closet every day. I love that. My name is Cynthia, and this is my California Closets story.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Hunger is a growing problem in our area, and a huge number of Suncoast residents are suffering in silence.
It could be your coworker,
your child's classmate,
or your friend fighting to secure their next meal. But you can help.
ABC7 is partnering with local organizations to help feed the Suncoast.
Go to mysuncoast.com/hunger to join the fight. Help us.
Help the hungry.
Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So over the next few hours, we'll have temperatures rising into the 80s pretty well. We're already in the 80s. It'll just get us into the mid 80s. 84 degrees by about 12 noon. Don't look for much in the way of rainfall today along the coastline. Dry today, and as we head into the afternoon, warm. Coming in at around 87 degrees. That'll probably be pretty close to our daytime high, I think. And then as we head into the evening, pretty nice evening. You know, temperatures will be falling off into the lower 80s, which is nice. By midnight, around 80 degrees. And then as you head into tomorrow morning, there might be an isolated shower near the coast in the morning, perhaps. But otherwise, I think we're looking at a pretty dry day, especially along the coast. Now, by 12 noon, you may see an isolated shower in inland areas. As you look off to the east, you might see the clouds building in the distance, but I don't think it's going to bring much rainfall to break the heat along the coastline. We're going to stay dry there. As we head into the 3 p.m. hour, everything looks pretty good. Should be no issues for you to get out and about, maybe head to the grocery store or whatever. I always think about grocery stores, right? It'll be pretty quiet, I think. Maybe a few scattered showers out in the Gulf for you boaters out there this afternoon. Otherwise, this evening should be a nice sunset. A little bit of fair weather cloudiness out there, maybe reflecting some of the colors of the setting sun. Should be good. And then that westerly wind also keeping it kind of refreshing right along the immediate coastline. Tomorrow morning, maybe a few scattered showers around. Again, I think this computer model way overdoes the amount of rainfall that we get. Take what you see here and cut it down by 2/3, and I think that'll probably be more realistic. So we'll put in a slight chance at a morning shower near the coast for tomorrow morning. Otherwise, Titan radar pretty quiet right now. You saw the few blips that we got from a few scattered areas of patchy drizzle early on. That's kind of what you might see tomorrow morning. Heavier rain showers back to the west. That's where the best place for severe weather will be located today. Texas, Oklahoma, they're already seeing some pretty good thunderstorms starting to blossom out there, and they're not even seeing any heating of the day yet. High pressure bringing us that westerly wind. A frontal boundary located just to the north with some slightly drier air back behind it. Those are the features on your weather map. Here's how they move. We'll watch that high pressure ridge kind of stay in place as that front sinks south. As the front sinks south, it will tend to just basically fall apart. It'll very slowly sink southward, and by Wednesday, it'll start to just completely dissipate. Some of that drier air will filter in and will slightly reduce our relative humidities a bit, but not much. We'll still have dew points in the 70s. It'll just feel perhaps a little more comfortable than it will for the next several days. Hot, humid, slight rain chances, and then that slight break in the humidity as we head into midweek. For boaters today, looks good. I don't see really any issues here, except maybe the winds might pick up a little bit tonight as that front starts to march a little further to the south. 5 to 10 knot wind, though, out of the west brings you a moderate chop and 2-foot seas. Forecast looks like this. We'll have a nice day today, plenty of sunshine, warm and humid with 87 the temperature. Tomorrow about the same, except we'll factor in that slight chance at a shower along the coastline in the morning, and then a much better chance in inland areas as you head into the later afternoon. Hardy, DeSoto, inland, Hardy and DeSoto, well, Hardy and DeSoto is all inland, but eastern sections of Hardy and DeSoto, that's where your best chances of rain will be. And then as we head into the next couple of days, we'll watch that front kind of fizzle out. And then on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, perhaps some slightly lower relative humidity, making it feel a bit more comfortable with minor rain chances. Over the weekend, another little bit of energy brings us about a 50% chance of showers, typical summertime stuff. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. Taking a look outside out there this morning. No real slowdowns in Manatee County. Just a couple little spots right here and there that are pretty normal around this time in the morning. 301's a little slow. 41 is also a little slow. Now, 41 coming into the area, if you're going by the Bee Ridge area or by the Fruitville area, is a little bit slow. We do have one little accident to tell you about there. On Dr. Martin Luther King Way, there's an accident at Tuttle Avenue. Again, Dr. Martin Luther King Way, there's an accident right there at Tuttle. So give yourself a few extra minutes to negotiate through that. If you're heading south on 75 or 41, both of those are running pretty smooth this morning. 617, that is your first alert traffic. Well, she is a full-time college student, a dog mom, a volunteer, and entrepreneur. One motivated Palmetto woman is wearing a lot of hats these days.
And she's found a tasty way to give back to Manatee County Animal Services. Our photojournalist Sammy Chida shows us how she got her start.
This is Riley. She was rescued about a year ago. She's the reason that my whole business started. I was making them dog treats, just my dogs in particular, just because I don't like buying stuff off the shelf.
Sit.
I was like, there has to be something else I can do And my mom was like, well, why don't you start selling your dog treats? And I was like, I don't really want to do that. And eventually I was like, maybe I'll try and I'll see. It actually kind of like took off, like a lot of people wanted them. They're all natural. There's no salt in them or preservatives. I decided I was going to donate part of the money that I make to animal services. It's 20% right now of every purchase that people buy. I don't think people understand how much help animal services need, I guess you can say. And especially with the amount of pit bulls that they have, no one wants to adopt them, which is really sad to me. I basically just volunteer and spend time with the adoptable dogs just so they can get out because there's 90 of them almost. There was one month that I donated almost $200 worth of like toys, treats, food, like just things like that that they actually need, blankets, towels, cleaner. I honestly think when you adopt a dog and you bring them home, there's like a connection that you have compared to buying a dog because they haven't been through like a struggle of not eating or not having water, not having someone to care for them. I honestly think there's like more of a trust and bond that you make. I like working part-time and doing this. It's kind of like my thing right now. It's kind of my passion to help animals.
I love stories like that. I always had shelter dogs growing up too. It was always about going and saving a dog. And she's right, there was a special bond that you have. Yeah.
Good for her. What a can-do person she is. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, a much different story. A dog dies during a Delta Airlines layover in Detroit.
We're going to tell you why the owner says it feels like losing a part of the family, of course. And of course, Marla?
And as you prepare for potential storms this hurricane season, so is Florida Power and Light, what the company is doing to make sure that they are well equipped and prepared this season. That's coming up at 6:30 right here on ABC 7.
Right now we're at 6:20. Pretty shot there outside our window at the Sarasota Bayfront. Longboat Key off in the distance. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TrueStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189. Now, for a free, no-obligation quote, TrueStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage. Call 1-800-842-7189 now.
Thanks to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, what was once impossible is happening today for thousands of patients with blood cancer.
I live.
I live. I live. I live.
I live.
She lives.
Because of the research done by the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society in the battle against blood cancer.
If you had a chance to support the research that is saving lives, what would you do?
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
So I kind of grew up all across the country. I come from 5 generations of military men. My dad is still active duty. My grandpa is retired Marines. I like going for runs with my dog. I love you know, taking her out to the dog beach over in Venice. There are so many things here to do on the Suncoast. My goal every day when I come into work at ABC7 is to tell your stories, give you that major local news and those details that you really care about. I'm Jacqueline Matter, and I'm here for you.
2, 1, 0, ignition.
And we have liftoff in Cape Canaveral. SpaceX launched their Falcon 9 rocket around 1 o'clock this morning from the Cape, carrying a telecommunications satellite into space. SpaceX says the satellite will let telephone companies and internet service providers deliver better and more reliable cell networks, which means faster broadband service as well. And back here at home on this planet, Delta Airlines is investigating the death of a dog during a layover at Detroit's airport.
Ariel Reshef tells us what happened.
In this morning's GMA First Look, an investigation launched into the mysterious death of an 8-year-old Pomeranian, Alejandro.
Still shocked and heartbroken over this.
Alejandro was flying on Delta from Phoenix to Newark, New Jersey. When he was taking off his flight for a layover in Detroit, the airline says he was fine. 2 hours later, his owner got a call that he was dead.
I got the phone call from my girlfriend, and it was just, I just couldn't get it. I was like, what do you mean? You know, what do you mean he's gone?
And when the owner, Michael, went to get Alejandro back, he says their findings were shocking.
He was brought out into the curbside area of the cargo area where we were given a carrier. There was also a Delta carrier. There were some garbage bags. And in one of the garbage bags was Alejandro.
And we'll have more on the story coming up at 7 a.m. with your GMA First Look. I'm Candace Gibson, ABC News, New York.
Add the Activia 2-week probiotic challenge to your healthy routine and see how Activia yogurt, with its billions of live and active probiotics, may help support your digestive health so you can take on your day. Text for a coupon and start the Activia Probiotic Challenge today.
The LG InstaView door-and-door refrigerator. Knock twice and see inside.
So good.
Bottom line is, moms love that Land O'Frost premium sliced meats have no byproducts.
Baloney!
Has joined the call.
Hey, Baloney here.
I thought this was a no byproducts call.
Land O'Frost Premium, a slice above.
Oh, look. Another anti-wrinkle cream in no hurry to make anything happen. Neutrogena Rapid Wrinkle Repair works in just 1 week with the fastest retinol formula to visibly reduce wrinkles. Neutrogena.
My California Closets experience has been wonderful. My mother's a huge inspiration. Before she passed away, she would say, you should do something special for yourself. First time I saw my closet, I immediately thought, this is the best thing I've ever done for myself. I call it my Tiffany style closet. I mean, I can shop in my own closet every day. I love that. My name is Cynthia, and this is my California Closets story.
WWSB ABC7 is an equal opportunity employer, and we're looking for qualified people to join our dynamic team. For a list of current openings and to apply online, visit www.mysuncoast.com/contact/employment. If you're a motivated team player and you want a rewarding career in a fun, fast-paced working environment, WWSB ABC7 could be the perfect fit for you. Check out our list of openings now.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first.
They stand ready to respond to any crisis.
I will never accept defeat.
They serve in their communities as citizens and as soldiers.
I will never quit.
They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at nationalguard.com.
My life motto is keep moving. And as hard as it was when my husband passed away, I knew I had to keep doing what I love. Oops, coming. But I needed help with my insurance, and that's what the NAIC provides. They have resources to help you and your family make the best decision, and they'll help you to keep moving forward, just like me.
Designers do it with style.
Tell me what's going on here. Because
why, you don't like my hair?
The Mark and Mandy Show. In-depth design ideas.
What is up with the tuck tape here? Let's cover it up.
Amazing beauty and fashion tips.
So Halle Berry has amazing skin. Her secret is coffee grounds.
No.
Delicious recipes.
Today, I'm gonna show you a special dish that is sure to please that special someone in your life.
Watch the Mark and Mandy Show right here on your favorite channel.
Chris Domine is a husband, father, an athlete, even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris's kidneys were failing.
The doctor said if you don't do dialysis, if you don't get a kidney transplant, you are going to die.
Then Chris received a second chance, made possible by an organ donor.
Your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
Imagine what you could make possible. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6:30.
Coming up, nursing homes across the Sunshine State are falling short on new standards to keep their patients safe during hurricane season, why thousands more could still be at risk.
Plus, a live report on what Florida Power and Light has learned from Hurricane Irma and what they do differently this season.
And we'll tell you why Sarasota County Commissioners are moving to ban recreational marijuana use here before it even becomes legal across the state. We have those stories and more right now on Good Morning Suncoast. It is 6:29 on this Monday morning. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm Stephanie Webb.
I'm Ray Collins. June the 4th, and a warm one, 81 degrees already, John Scalzi.
Yes, indeed. And we are headed to a very warm afternoon, no doubt about it. High humidity making the heat index climb up to the mid-90s today. Yeah, we got some drier, cooler air coming our way. Well, not cooler, but drier air coming our way midweek. We're going to be talking about that in a few minutes. Currently, as we head through the morning, look for an 80-degree temperature by 7 o'clock this morning. By noon, 84, and by 3 p.m. we'll be all the way up to about 87 degrees. Satellite view not showing any kind of major cloud cover or systems headed our way. We have a kind of a mix of fair weather skies and cloud out there currently, and we have some heavier thunderstorm activity and maybe even severe weather back toward Texas and Oklahoma. That really is not going to influence our weather all that much. That cold front might, though. You saw that just on our maps. And that may actually be working its way a little bit closer to us. That's one of the things we're going to talk about. 90% relative humidity, 80 degrees our air temperature. We'll talk all about that forecast and that slightly drier air maybe midweek. Yeah, coming up in just a few. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. Well, just days into this year's hurricane season, and there are some new safety concerns for nursing homes and their patients across the street. A new report shows that only a portion of Florida's nursing homes actually have backup power. Now, that's despite new requirements that were put in place after a dozen seniors died last year following Hurricane Irma. Now, those new rules require all facilities to have backup power for cooling for at least 4 days. But Florida's Agency for Healthcare Administration says that only 48 nursing homes and 91 assisted living facilities have installed the right equipment so far. Now, those that ask for extensions have until January to meet the requirements, but that, of course, means many will not have that backup power for this hurricane season. And the state's largest electric utility company, Florida Power and Light, wants to make sure that your lights stay on during this hurricane season.
They say lessons were learned from Hurricane Irma. So what is different this go around? Marla Spence has an answer live in Sarasota. Marla?
Well, guys, during Hurricane Irma last year, the storm knocked out power to nearly 10 million homes and businesses across the state of Florida. Now, for Florida Power and Light, it took them some time to respond to their customers because they say that there were some glitches with their website and also their mobile app. Now, this time around for this hurricane season, the company says that it's updated its company's website and also its mobile app. They say that both their website and their app were not able to handle the amount of customers reporting outages and checking the status of power restoration. This year, the company says it's made some changes to both the website and also the app to make it easier for customers. Both the app and the website will be able to handle more traffic this season than last season.
So during Irma, one of the things that we found is that our mobile application, as well as our FPL.com site, were not ready for the volumes that they were receiving during the storm. We've made a lot of improvements and investments in those applications so that they can be ready for those volumes during the next hurricane.
The company says last year during Hurricane Irma was the first time that the company experienced a high volume of customers going to their website and also their mobile app. They say this year they hope that something like that does not happen again with the help of their updates to both their website and their mobile app, just in case a hurricane were to come right here to the Suncoast as well as the state of Florida. And they say they hope they'll be fully prepared and equipped through both their mobile app and their website. Reporting live in Sarasota, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Marla. As we go live from Sarasota to live in downtown Bradenton, this is where the start of a full week of construction will take place, right in the downtown core. FDOT is repairing the railroad crossing on Manatee Avenue West at 5th Street West starting today. Later on this morning, crews will be diverting drivers around the area, so expect heavier traffic in that part of the town. The closure should last for about a month. If you look closely, you can see the issue right there in downtown Bradenton, some slowdowns there in the eastbound lane. Also congestion on State Road 64 as you head toward the interstate, and the usual delays on 301. We still have an ongoing issue, an accident earlier this morning at Martin Luther King and Tuttle, so be aware of that if you're traveling in that area. Otherwise, all clear. South County, some slowdowns there, 41 southbound as you approach the Business 41 area.
And right now, at least 20 people are dead, 20 others injured after Guatemala's Fuego volcano erupted for a second time over the weekend. This latest eruption is considered to be the strongest registered so far. The volcano is still pushing ash up to 6 miles into the air, affecting Guatemala City as well as some of those neighborhood towns. Guatemala's government has now ordered evacuations for the towns closest to the volcano. They've also closed the international airport due to all the ashes.
Happening today in Sarasota, city commissioners will talk about an immediate solution for the severe erosion on Lido Beach.
Now, the city issued a local state of emergency last week. That allows property owners in that area to be able to place up to 300 cubic yards of bagged sand on the beach to protect private property. Now, the commission is expected to discuss its options and either approve or deny a request for more funding to help protect Lido's shoreline. Now, the meeting is scheduled to start at 2:30 this afternoon, and it is open to the public if you want to attend. And the Sarasota County Commission is moving to ban recreational marijuana if it ever becomes legal across the state. Commissioners voted unanimously last week to draft an amendment that will prohibit the growing, the processing, and the sale of recreational marijuana. Now, for people like Kendra Souza, this ban is disappointing. She's a veteran and identifies herself as a recovering addict, suffering from both depression and a personality disorder. But she says that marijuana actually calms her down and eases her pain. The doctors that she has seen with Veterans Affairs have prescribed her 12 other medications so far, and they've not yet recommended medical cannabis. Now, Souza says she still plans to get a medical marijuana card soon, believes that the ban only feeds into a stigma that marijuana is a gateway drug.
Everybody has their thing, and we're in a society now that anybody can pop off and shoot anybody, and alcohol entices that kind of thing. I don't know why somebody wouldn't have the open-mindedness to give it a try.
Now, next up, city staff will return to the commission with a drafted amendment that bans all cultivation and sale of medical marijuana.
A North Florida judge ruled that the state's ban on smokable medical marijuana is unconstitutional. 2 years ago, voters approved the use of medical marijuana through vaping and in food, oils, and sprays. But last year, the governor signed a bill banning it from being smoked. The plaintiffs argued that because the law only mentions smoking in public, that users should be allowed to still smoke in private. Happening today, the start of the summer Break Spot program to help fight hunger across the state, including right here on the Suncoast. More than 1 million students rely on free and reduced-priced meals at Florida schools. The Break Spot program tries to fill that gap during the long summer months. Through the program, those 18 years old and under will get a free breakfast and lunch 5 days a week. The program is not based on financial need and is open to all children. For details on where to get these meals, go to our website, mysuncoast.com. Looking ahead, the annual Siesta Key and Venice Beach runs start this week. The 1 mile fun run will be every Tuesday at Siesta Beach, every Wednesday at Brohard Beach. Registration starts at 5:30 p.m., race time 6:30 p.m. Runners will get a free ribbon for taking part and also a free ice pop. And those who complete 4 runs will also get a free t-shirt.
And if you missed out on license-free fishing this past weekend, no worries. Next weekend, June 9th and 10th, freshwater fishing will also not require a license. So make your plans now. Just remember, you do have to follow the normal size and limit restrictions on fishing. For those who enjoy their free fishing experience, an annual license for fresh or saltwater fishing costs just $17 each for Florida residents and then $47 for non-residents. And still to come on Good Morning Suncoast, new developments overnight in the Russia investigation.
We'll tell you why President Trump's personal attorney says it's not worth trying to charge the commander-in-chief with the crime when we come back. But first, a peek outside our window.
It is not a bad day out there, right, John?
Your window.
Hey, John Scalzi.
Hi. So we're looking at some pretty nice conditions at the beach today. We're looking at, generally speaking, temperatures in the upper 80s with feels-like temperatures that'll feel more like 95 or so. Mostly sunny, dry skies, though, near the beaches. I think inland you might have a little bit higher humidity. Taking a walk on the beach tonight, nice, sunny, beautiful sunset. 4 out of 4 beach balls. Complete forecast coming up in a few.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
I was always worried and scared. Mom was in pain. She wasn't going to get any better, and all the trips to the ER were painful for all of us. Then we called Tidewell Hospice, and everything changed. Now she has care in our home when she needs it, surrounded by family. We know we don't have much time left with Mom, but we decided to make the best out of that time. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to mesobook.com.
When my youngest, Addie, was 2.5, she was diagnosed with leukemia. When we first heard that diagnosis, you feel extremely alone. Walking in that Light the Night light with 6,000 people carrying lights, white for survivors, red for supporters, gold in memory of those who have passed. It's the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's hope that every year there are fewer gold lanterns. Your lantern will make a difference.
Start a team, join a team.
Help us light the night.
Northland Outdoors is about so much more than the biggest fish or the hottest hunting spots. All across the Northland, there are amazing people with incredible stories to tell. We're going to find those stories and share them with everyone.
Join us each and every week as we explore the Northland and experience some of the most exciting outdoor adventures in the country right here in our own backyard. This is Northland Outdoors.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So as we head through the morning into the lunchtime hour, we'll top it at about 84 degrees, and we'll have a mix of sun and fair weather clouds. Humidity will still be warm, but not feeling as hot as it will by the time we hit 3 p.m. when we're up in the upper 80s there, 87 or so. And if you factor in the humidity, then I think the feels like temperature will be closer to about 95. As we head into the evening hours, rain-free, looking pretty nice though, with 82 degrees the temperature. Sunset period looks like it'll be lovely. A few fair weather clouds reflecting the setting colors of the sun, and then as we head into midnight, probably around 80 degrees. So the future cast shows these few scattered showers in inland areas, and they'll probably become a little bit more numerous as we head into the 3:30 time of maximum heating of the day. That's mostly going to be outside of our viewing area, though, I think, and favoring the other coastline. We'll have a few scattered showers building in Gulf waters as we head into the later night and toward dawn tomorrow morning. Sunset looks great. Midnight just fine, and then those few scattered showers coming in tomorrow morning. Again, this computer model, I think, way overdoes the number of showers that we get, probably by 2/3. So cut this down to about 1/3 of what you see here, and that's more likely what we'll see tomorrow morning. Titan radar not showing a whole lot of rainfall around. Over the last couple of hours, we saw a few blips over the Skyway Bridge. Some of that false echo not hitting the ground. Some of it actually just really light passing patches of drizzle. That's kind of what we'll see tomorrow morning, I think. Maybe a few more of them around. Back to the west, we had some showers around the Dallas area. I think as we head into the afternoon, Dallas, Oklahoma City, if you're heading in that direction, will probably have a bigger threat for severe weather than most any other part of the country. Frontal boundary located just to the north kind of stalls out as it sinks southward. We catch this westerly wind around an area of high pressure, and again that pushes most of the showery activity over to the other coast. I don't think we see a lot around here. As we head into the afternoon, we'll watch that frontal boundary continue to kind of just sag and meander across North Florida. We stay in the hot, humid air. Rain chances will be slight and mostly inland later this afternoon. And then a slight break in the humidity midweek as that frontal boundary finally inches its way closer to central Florida and washes out. We get a taste of the drier air that's back behind that front. Satellite view doesn't show much in the way of large-scale cloud cover for us, but we will get a few blow-off clouds from this frontal boundary located to the north, I think, and that could just actually help make the sunset even a little prettier. West wind at about 5 to 10 this afternoon, maybe kind of picking up just a little bit later on tonight, coming in west at about 15 as that front sags southward. 2-foot seas, moderate chop on bay and inland waters. Water temperature now getting up there, 82 degrees. It has risen a bit. So we look at 87 as our daytime high. Mixed sun and clouds, not much rain. Tomorrow, a slight chance at a morning shower, better chance inland in the afternoon. And then over the next several days thereafter, I think our rain chances will hover around 30–40% as that frontal boundary kind of washes out over us. We get some slightly drier air at the surface, making it feel slightly more comfortable Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then over the weekend, a little extra upper level energy will give us those average chances of afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. Taking a look outside to that first alert traffic in Manatee County. Starting to see some more delays, some of our typical ones. 301 State Road 70, as well as coming over those bridges and into Bradenton. All of that is slowing down. Then in Sarasota, nothing really there to tell you about so much. 41's running a little bit slow, but it normally is. We do have that one accident, Dr. Martin Luther King Way. There's an accident right there at Dr. Martin Luther King Way and Tuttle Avenue. And then a little bit farther south in the area, both 75 and 41 are running pretty smooth out there this morning with your first alert traffic. Well, now to new details in the Russia investigation. President Trump's legal team is now arguing that he cannot be forced to testify, claiming that even if he were found guilty, he could simply pardon himself.
As Janae Norman tells us, this all comes after a leaked memo the president's team wrote to the special counsel's legal team.
President Trump's legal team is making the case.
You cannot indict a sitting president.
Lead attorney Rudy Giuliani with a shocking suggestion and hair-raising hypothetical, telling the Huffington Post in no case can he be subpoenaed or indicted. If he shot James Comey, he'd be impeached the next day. Impeach him, and then you can do whatever you want to do to him. And making the claim that even if the president were found guilty of a crime, he has the power to pardon.
Do you and the president's attorneys believe the president has the power to pardon himself?
He's not, but he probably does.
But Giuliani says the political ramifications would be too great for the president to pardon himself. All this as President Trump's legal team responds to a 20-page leaked memo sent to the special counsel dated January 29th. The president's lawyers arguing he can't be guilty of obstruction of justice as he is the chief law enforcement officer, a claim legal experts are skeptical of.
So the notion that suddenly obstruction of justice is not something a president can ever do is a radical theory.
And that secret memo revealing for the first time the president's attorneys admitting President Trump dictated the initial response about his son Don Jr.'s meeting with a Russian attorney months before the election, something the White House previously denied.
He certainly didn't dictate, but, you know, he, like I said, he weighed in.
First it was all denied, and now you're saying he dictated.
This is the reason you don't let the president testify. If, you know, our recollection keeps changing, or we're not even asked a question, and somebody makes an assumption.
And Giuliani has made it clear that the president's team will fight if Mueller tries to subpoena him, telling ABC News if that happens, we're going to court. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
This morning, the question, where is First Lady Melania Trump? Well, it's been 24 days since she's been seen in public after undergoing surgery last month. White House spokesmen have confirmed that the First Lady won't be attending the G7 summit in Quebec later this week and won't be joining the president at the North Korean summit in Singapore next week. But the mystery may soon be over. Her spokesman said that Melania is expected to attend a Gold Star event at the White House later today. Last month, the First Lady was hospitalized for a kidney condition. As recently as Friday, her communication director said that she is doing great.
Looking ahead, President Trump will host dinner Wednesday night to recognize the Muslim holy month of Ramadan. During the month of Ramadan, Muslims do not eat or drink from sunrise to sunset. The meal that breaks the day's fast is called an iftar, which is being held Wednesday night at the White House. The meal is a return to White House tradition after the event was not held last year. Still ahead, your top 7 headlines before 7 a.m.
And that, of course, includes a final check of your first alert weather and traffic as well. We're going to leave you with this beautiful shot out there this morning. We'll be right back with one last look at the weather. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
I'll be right back.
Hi! You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. If you're probably sober, then why would you do that? Good choice.
Probably okay isn't okay. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
That's a full glass of wine. I'll be chatting you later.
About every 3 minutes in America, someone is diagnosed with a blood cancer. Light the Night brings together survivors and supporters to bring light to the darkness of cancer and to help fund life-saving research. Our goal is a world without blood cancers, and we're lighting the path to cures. The discoveries made in blood cancer research have led to breakthrough treatments for many cancers and other serious diseases. Help defeat the darkness of cancer. Join Light the Night today.
We are problem solvers striving for answers. Relevancy on every platform. We are driven to create content that's compelling, engaging, where it matters. We are neighbors that care about solutions, believers in making a difference, leaders innovating in an exciting era of multimedia, reaching to always be the gold standard in our evolving landscape. We are Raycom Media. Find your opportunity today.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him?
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Welcome back. Coming up on Good Morning America, after the death of a dog during a recent Delta Airlines flight, GMA is taking a look at how you can keep your pets safer when flying this summer. And right now, let's move on. Here is your top 7 before 7.
First off, John Scalzi's First Alert weather forecast.
All right, your outdoor forecast includes what to take with you today. Sunscreen and a water bottle. That's what you're going to need because it's going to be a hot one out there. Look for a feels-like temperature of about 95 a little bit later on. Sun cloud mix, humid and hot, daytime high. Actual temperature topping out probably around 87. Right now, we're at 80 degrees. And don't forget, you can always take us with you on our app. That's, of course, available at your app store, First Alert Weather app. And we're also on social media, mysuncoast.com, Facebook, and Twitter. I've just updated all of those pages with the latest forecast information. You might want to check that out. Back to you.
Thank you, John. Number 3, we're going to check a live shot now in downtown Bradenton, where there is going to be some work on a railroad crossing for the next few weeks at Manatee Avenue West at 5th Street West. That's going to cause some real congestion in downtown Bradenton starting today and lasting for the next 4 weeks. Marla?
I'm live at Florida Power and Light in Sarasota, and the company is working on being better prepared this hurricane season compared to last year during Hurricane Irma. The company says many of the power outages last year were due to downed trees, so they've initiated an initiative, put that in place for people to plant trees away from power lines. They've also updated their website and their mobile app to make it easier for customers.
Thank you, Marla. Only a few days left now to buy hurricane supplies tax-free. It's all part of the state's disaster preparedness sales tax holiday, which lasts until Thursday.
And number 5, police are looking for the suspect involved in a possible drive-by shooting yesterday. The victim is being treated at Blake Medical, but is expected to survive.
Number 6, First Lady Melania Trump is expected to appear in public for the first time today in over 20 days. She is scheduled to appear at a Gold Star event at the White House this afternoon.
And number 7, Tom Cruise just took his place in stunt history. He became the first actor ever in history to perform a halo parachute jump from 25,000 feet for his new Mission Impossible movie. Paramount Studios released the clip of him doing this yesterday. I gotta give him credit. 56 years old, he performs a lot of his own stunts, and I swear they've only gotten riskier over the years. For one of his other Mission Impossible movies, he scaled the world's tallest building in Dubai. He is very hands-on with all of his movies, so well done, Tom Cruise. You inspire me.
He's had some injuries along the way.
He broke his ankle, and I think it was for this movie as well. He was doing he was jumping from building to building, but he has always been really diehard about doing his own stunts.
I always thought the insurance companies wouldn't let the star actors do their own stunts.
You would think that, especially when it's you're an A-lister like Tom Cruise,
right,
but just throw him out of that plane. He'll be fine. It's all going to end up well.
Yeah, it's good publicity. You can't beat that.
Yeah.
Hot and humid again today. You know what? I think it's a good idea now at this time of year to remind folks that the pavement gets really, really hot, especially blacktop pavement.
That's right, for your pets.
So watch out for your little puppers.
Yes, absolutely. Good reminder out there this morning.
We leave you now with a shot of the downtown skyline. Enjoy your Monday.
That is right. Good Morning America is up next right here on ABC 7.